Welcome to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Now here along with Dr. Bonati, your host, Kimberly Brummel.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Brummel. We have our friend, executive producer of AM Tampa Bay, Ethan Euchre.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Thank you for being here.
Love to be here.
And as well, we have our radio and TV senior fellow, Jeff Wagstaff.
That senior fellow there, Mr. Euchre.
No comments this week. I'm going to let you have that.
Not special fellow. Sorry.
Unspecial. That's what you are, Jeff.
No, he is very special. And across from us, we have world-renowned orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Alfred Bonati of the Bonati Spine Institute. Thank you for being here.
Let's get real, guys.
We're real all the time, Dr. Bonati.
All right. Well, on that note, actions speak louder than words, and the Bonati Spine Institute is all about results. Why does Bonati succeed where others fail? Dr. Bonati was revolutionary in his field, and he had the foresight to see the problems with traditional open spine surgery, and he set out to discover and develop his own methods and instrumentation to make that happen. The exclusive and patented Bonati spine procedures truly work. Many imitators in the industry have tried to ride on his coattails and jump on that minimally invasive bandwagon, but unfortunately, they've missed a few crucial steps, and in fact, some have reverted to using screws and plates once again. Well, there's a problem, and they're unable to do what he does because they don't have the knowledge, the experience, tools, and techniques it takes to replicate and perfectly execute his methods. That is why the Bonati Spine Institute succeeds, where many others fail and continue to have problems. A recent 5-year survey reflects a 98.75 immediate success rate with the Bonati spine procedures. And now we'll talk about the rest of today's show. We have Dr. Miller. He'll be joining us later to talk about 6 surprising things about you and your microbes.
We have a lot of microbes that apparently I was unaware of, and we're going to learn some crazy things about our microbes. So he should be a good guest.
Great. And then we'll have Dr. Patricia Lawman, and she's a co-discoverer of a cancer vaccine. So that should be very interesting.
This is legit, too. I mean, she's local to the Tampa Bay market, and this is something that they designed the vaccine for use in pets, and it's keeping pets from getting cancer. It's a legitimate cancer vaccine, and it's supposedly, well, we'll get into it, but there's implications for humans, and this could be huge.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And up first in our Back to Life segment, on the line, we have patient David Brown, and he's calling in from Tennessee. Thank you for being here with us, David.
Thank you for having me.
Why don't you describe basically what you've been going through, your pain, what types of doctors or treatment that you sought out, and then how you found the Bonati Institute, and kind of walk us through that process.
Okay. Back in 2008, I started developing quite a bit of neck pain, and I went to my primary care physician, and he had sent me over to a spine center doctor here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Mm-hmm. And I went and saw him, and he wanted to do a little bit of physical therapy, which I did proceed with no help at all. This went on for about 18 months. Mm-hmm. I pretty much had to take hydrocodone every 2.5 to 3 hours around the clock.
Now, David, let me just pause you for a second. Why did you start having neck pain? Was there a cause? Were you really active? Was there an accident? How did you start when you experiencing the pain to begin with?
A lot of it was from high school sports, and just over a period of time, I guess it caught up with me. There was no accident or injury involved other than, just the contact, I would say, from the sports.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you went to a couple of doctors. They basically just gave you the Band-Aid treatment, which is pain pills, and
right.
And I'm sure that you didn't want that to become a problem. So how did you proceed from there?
Well, actually, after I told him, hey, it's enough with the pain medicine, he said, well, the option we have is we can go in and we can put in a 6-inch incision right on the front side of your throat. We'll go in and we'll take care of the disc, put in a cadaver bone, put in a plate, and 6 screws. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, well, what will my mobilization be? He said, well, what you got is what you'll have. And that's when I said, well, I'm not going to stand for that. I appreciate your time. I appreciate what you've done for me, but it's not the option that I have. And the reason why I was able to say that is my mother-in-law is a patient of Bonati Institute also, and she had 8 surgeries prior to mine, and I saw the miraculous difference in her, and it was a no-brainer for me.
Wow, that's amazing. So obviously people in your family had already discovered, and I know he hates when we blow up his ego like this, but they already discovered the genius of Dr. Bonati. So why would you stay in Tennessee, have a cadaver bone, he's shaking his head at me, have a cadaver bone put in your neck, especially when you're going to continue to have the same limited mobility you already have? So how is that even a fix? So you got in touch with Dr. Bonati, and walk us through how you came down, your consultation, and take it from there.
Okay. Well, we left Tennessee in February 2010, came down, got a place there in Hudson. We went in for initial evaluation. Just the atmosphere, once you walk through the door, Paul was the greeter, or the main guy in the lobby there. It's like the guy is a computer. He knew your name. He knew what time you were coming. Didn't have to look at his book or anything. It was a great atmosphere. Everything was immaculate inside. Loved the color blue that's in the office.
Very soothing.
Went in and I did my initial evaluation. Went over my MRI and with Dr. Grossmith, and we sort of laid it out how we wanted to proceed with getting me relief. We ended up doing a total of 3 procedures in 15 days. I had 3 procedures in 15 days. We traveled back home on the 17th day to Chattanooga. We got about halfway, spent the night. And 45 days after my last surgery, I was back doing what I do for a living, and that's running the bulldozer.
Oh, wow. So how did the actual procedure go, though? That is always still, to this day, interesting to me, just because I'm not as close to it as Dr. Bonati is to him. It's just another day in the surgery room. But to me, it's very interesting how the procedure goes. It's the IV...
Conscious IV sedation.
Conscious IV sedation. So you're not completely out, correct, David?
That is correct. No, you're not. You're actually... in my case, and I'm sure it's every case, you're face down. You have a little window on your table. There's a screen that's underneath, a TV screen, that you can actually watch the procedure.
Did you watch?
I watched what I could. Apparently, I was in quite a bit of pain because I know that they monitor your brain waves and, they adjust the meds from it. But I got to watch part of it. And then, there was part of it that I don't remember. And, it's just probably due to just the way that I guess I handled the meds. But it was a very minimum invasive incision. You felt pressure.
And did the doctor...
There was never any pain during the surgery at all.
And did the doctor talk to you the whole time? Because that's kind of why they keep you semi-conscious, is so they can ask you to pinpoint where the pain is. Was that the case with you?
That is correct. And actually, when Dr. Grossmith went in and he was able to relieve the first procedure, it was automatic, instantaneously, boom, that symptom was gone, and you could feel it.
Wow.
As soon as it was corrected.
That's amazing. So you had instant pain relief. When the procedure was done, how long before you were kind of back on your feet? I think you already told us this, but you were back driving your bulldozer, and how long?
I was on a bulldozer 45 days after my last surgery.
That's amazing, David. Now, when you had sought out that previous surgeon who was talking about how invasive a procedure that he could do for you, where you really weren't going to be much better than you were at that time, what was the recovery time that they told you you would have?
He told me 6 to 8 months.
Wow.
So were you shocked that you were back on the bulldozer in 45 days versus 6 to 8 months?
If I would have never known anyone who had been to the Bonati Institute, yes, I would have been. But knowing that my mother-in-law had been there and I saw what her recovery rate was, I was very pleased. But yes, having 3 in my neck area, I was very shocked to be able to do that.
And I'm assuming you also, just like your mother recommended Dr. Bonati to you, you would also recommend the Bonati spine procedure to others suffering neck and back pain.
That is correct. Actually, my wife's aunt has been down and had one procedure, and between the three of us and my father-in-law, I don't know that there's enough time for us to even tell you how many countless people that we have told and give information about the Bonati Institute that have gone, seek treatment, and come back and just they don't even call it the Bonati Institute. They call it a miracle place because of the relief of pain.
See that? That's amazing.
About as good as the compliment gets.
Yeah. Well, another success story. We appreciate you joining us, David. Continued pain-free living, my friend.
All right. I thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Take care.
You too.
I love hearing those stories, Kimberly.
They never get old. It's just amazing when you hear stories like that of recovery where you're told, hey, you can go through this really invasive procedure with screws and plates, and you have 6 to 8 months of recovery, and your range of motion is going to remain as limited as it was when you first went there.
Yeah, why bother? And I know we talk a lot about miracle this and magic that.
It's not.
It isn't at all.
No,
but to someone who's
skill.
in pain that is living like that, and someone like Dr. Bonati or Dr. Grossmith comes in, and it seems like magic because, you've been told by quote-unquote other experts that there's not much they can do, and then they go see somebody like Dr. Bonati.
It's that experience and technique that make the Bonati Spine Institute and the Bonati Spine procedures so successful. So if you or someone you know is suffering in pain, headaches, back, neck, or sciatic pain, give the Bonati Spine Institute a call at 855-267-0482, or you can visit the website at bonati.com. Coming up after the break, we're going to be speaking with Dr. Miller, and we're going to find out about how your microbes affect you. So we'll have more on that on the flip side of the break. You're listening to News Radio 970 WFLA. Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail. The Bonati Spine Institute is proud to announce more than a 94% patient-reported success rate in over 45,000 patent-protected spine surgical procedures. Call us today at 855-267-0483 or visit us at bonati.com.
All my pain is gone, gone.
Today I am totally pain-free. Nothing. No after effect.
I'm pain-free, and I have had to take any pain medication.
Today I am pain-free for the first time in over a year, and it is so awesome.
I only wish I'd known about it earlier. Right now, I am completely without pain.
Sitting here in this office right now, pain-free, eager to enjoy the rest of my life.
I am feeling great.
I feel 100% better, like a new person.
Today I feel absolutely fantastic. It's just incredible, the relief I feel right now.
Today I'm completely pain-free.
During the procedure, I literally felt the pain melt away. It was fantastic.
I feel so good.
It took care of my headaches instantly.
It's incredible. It's really incredible. It gave me my life back.
It's just wonderful.
I feel fantastic.
It is just absolutely amazing.
So I'm hoping to be climbing hills in a few weeks.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonatti Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonatti spine procedures, Alfred Bonatti, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonatti and your host, Kimberly Brumell.
Thank you for joining us for American Medicine Today, brought to you by the Bonatti Spine Institute. I'm Kimberly Brumell, along with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. Alfred Bonatti. Along with us is Ethan Euchre and Jeff Wagstaff, and we have a special guest on the phone, Dr. Bill Miller, and he's here to discuss 6 surprising things about you and your microbes. And he's a leading expert on the hologenome, and
No clue what that is.
Neither do I, but
we're about to find out, I guess.
We are.
Dr. Miller, are you there?
Yes, I am.
I guess the first question is, Jeff said during the break, what is the hologenome? And please don't talk over our heads because...
No, I won't. The hologenome recognizes that nature doesn't see you as a single organism. So, for example, when you look in the mirror, and when anyone does, you see your reflection, you see yourself as a single being, and that's what you assume. But that's not really the way it is. There are 10 times as many cells that are not you types of cells, not part of your intrinsic cellular makeup, than are part of you.
I have heard that before, that there's, just pulling a figure out of the air. There's 1 billion cells that are you, that are human, but there's 10 billion, microbes and germs and bacteria.
It's even more than that. Wow. And what we're learning, because we have new and better ways of investigating, is that the amount of viral material is absolutely astoundingly larger than that. But the point of it all then is that you are not a single organism, you are a collaborative. And there are enormously important medical implications that come from that, and actually will change even the way we regard evolutionary theory. So the next big wave of medicine, there was anesthesia and there was antisepsis and obviously bacteriology and new and potent drugs have been found. The next big wave of medical practice and medical therapy is going to involve understanding how we are a collective enterprise, each and every one of us, and it will change how we understand immunology, metabolism, even how we treat things like mood disorders.
Okay.
So you have the ability, or those physicians in your field have the ability to manipulate those microbes based on different symptoms or different desired results?
Well, I'll give you a quick example that has already worked its way into medical practice, and I'm not sure whether your listeners are whether this is going to please them particularly, but there's a new therapy that has just been being actively investigated for inflammatory bowel disease, people that have
like IBS,
chronic diarrhea. There are a few specific diseases that are categorized as inflammatory bowel disorders. One of the new treatments is called a transplant. They'll take stool samples and transplant from healthy people to unhealthy people. What they're doing is manipulating the microbial life inside the gut, and that has a very positive association with a marked decrease in inflammation of the gut line.
Yeah, Dr. Miller, I think I've heard about this, by the way, and it just sounds disgusting. I mean, you're basically taking someone else's feces and putting it in your body. And
I didn't think your listeners would be that pleased with it, but yeah.
But it works, right?
But that's one of the first things that has been considered. This is just the very beginning of a completely different way of looking at, particularly at metabolism. And metabolic. Well, let me very quickly. How often do people say, "Oh, I have a nervous stomach," or "It has been a gut-wrenching experience"?
Yes.
Well, we are accustomed to thinking that the brain interacts with the gut and it will influence that part of our body. But what's also just as true, but inapparent to us, is that the gut is going the other way too. There are more neurons, there's more nervous tissue in the gut than in the spinal cord. Wow. And we're only learning now how sensitive and how remarkable this back and forth, this feedback is between these things. And that's just one body part. The gut is the area that is being most actively investigated. But every single part of us is covered by microbial life. And each of them form their own ecologies, their own environments, and they influence us. That our teeth are very important ecologies. It is very likely we're going to find that there's a direct association between oral health and cardiovascular disease. That's actually pretty solid information already.
Don't tell us that there's all kinds of disgusting things in our mouths too, because that's just really going to ruin.
We don't even want to go there.
I think we already know this, so let's just keep from going there.
I just have a question though. When you were talking about implanting some of those microbes into people suffering with bowel problems, is it a one-time thing and it's a one-time fix and then they're cured?
I don't know the answer to that. I think that's still being worked out. But with respect to your listeners thinking, well, what impact would this have on me now? I think it's important just from the general sense that everyone wants to be informed when there's an important new change in medicine that's occurring. But secondly, I think we're beginning to understand that we need to use our diets in an experimental way for each of us to see what works for us. So there have been a number of experiments with probiotics, different kinds of probiotic yogurts, that show that some people will feel better having taken them and restoring a certain kind of balance. There have been a number of research projects that are showing that certain people will feel significantly different when they have worked to manipulate the kinds of microbial life that's inside them. And I don't know that we can offer specific remedies at this time, but I think your listeners can become aware and attuned to their bodies, understand how they feel. If they get up in the morning and they're not feeling right, their joints ache, they're lethargic, their mood is bad, they may need to look at their diet and see whether they can experiment with replacing one thing for another and see whether or not that makes them feel better.
Well, I don't, Dr. Miller, I don't think I'll be experimenting with the feces that you were talking about. But
no, that's
I'm kidding. We're about out of time, Dr. Miller. A lot of great stuff can be found in the book, The Microcosm Within: Evolution and Extinction in the Hologenome. Very interesting stuff. Dr. Bill Miller, thanks for joining us on American Medicine Today, sir.
Thanks. I appreciate being on.
All right,
Thank
have a
you.
great day.
Thank you.
I know I'm never going to look at myself the same in the mirror.
I don't think anybody's going to look at themselves with anything other than disgust from here on out.
Wow. Okay. Well, I certainly learned about my microbes and myself. Coming up on the flip side of the break, Dr. Patricia Lohman. She is the co-discoverer of a cancer vaccine. Interested to hear more? You're listening to News Radio 970, WFLA. Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail. The Bonati Spine Institute is proud to announce more than a 94% patient-reported success rate in over 45,000 patent-protected spine surgical procedures. Call us today at 855-267-0483 or visit us at bonati.com.
All my pain is gone. Gone.
Today I am totally pain-free. Nothing. No after effect.
I'm pain-free, and I have had to take any pain medication.
Today I am pain-free for the first time in over a year, and it is so awesome.
I only wish I'd known about it earlier. Right now, I am completely without pain.
Sitting here in this office right now, pain-free, eager to enjoy the rest of my life.
I am feeling great.
I feel 100% better, like a new person.
Today I feel absolutely fantastic. It's just incredible, the relief I feel right now.
Today I'm completely pain-free.
During the procedure, I literally felt the pain melt away. It was fantastic.
I feel so good.
It took care of my headaches instantly.
It's incredible. It's really incredible. It gave me my life back.
It's just wonderful.
I feel fantastic.
It is just absolutely amazing.
So I'm hoping to be climbing hills in a few weeks.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonati and your host, Kimberly Bermel.
You are listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute. I'm Kimberly Bermel, joined by world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. Alfred Bonati, Ethan Euchre, and Jeff Wagstaff. Now, in studio with us, we have Dr. Patricia Laumann, a local biotech scientist and co-discoverer of a cancer vaccine. Welcome to the show, Dr. Laumann.
Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. Now, Jeff had a small cancer scare a while back, and I know in the write-up it talks about how effective this cancer vaccine that you've co-discovered has helped animals. And so why don't you explain a little bit more about how that works?
Yes, I'd be happy to. Well, Morphogenesis has developed an immunotherapeutic cancer vaccine. So unlike vaccines for infectious disease, which are preventative, this is actually a therapeutic. So just to get that definition in there. And as an immunotherapeutic, we actually invoke the help of the immune system rather than like standard of care, which kills cancer cells directly. And in that process can cause collateral damage and toxic side effects. When you evoke an immune response, it's very specific and targeted, so it eliminates the toxic side effects. So we say that we have a multi-indication cancer therapy that primes and educates the immune system to then seek and destroy tumor cells wherever they are in the body.
That's fantastic.
Just the term cancer,
yes,
it's scary. When you hear that for the first time from a doctor, it's really scary. So to hear the term cancer vaccine, pretty promising, pretty exciting.
Yes, it is very exciting. And my husband and I, Michael Laumann, and I've just finished editing a 40-chapter book on cancer vaccines that was published last week that tells many different ways of approaching this. And so it's a lot of excitement in the industry to doing this kind of work that is so promising.
Dr. Laumann, there's so much talk in the news today about vaccines. And as you know, some parents are against having their children vaccinated. And just from a layman's point of view, I believe that's because, like, I'm a guy who got the flu shot and then ended up with a horrible case of the flu a couple weeks later. But those type of vaccines, in very, very simple terms, expose the body to that particular illness, and then your immune system learns to fight it. Is that a fair description?
That is correct, yes.
How does this new drug therapy would teach the body also how to fight it, but in a different way? Help explain.
Well, the immune system works in that it is always distinguishing between what is self and what is foreign. So when you get a bacterial infection, it recognizes that bacteria as foreign and then goes and fights it. When we evoke the immune response to a tumor cell, it's a little bit different because your tumor cells are from you, so they're self, but they are a little bit different in some ways, but it's very subtle differences. And what we're trying to do is get the immune system to recognize those subtle differences so that it can go and kill just those tumor cells. So our therapy deals with your tumor cells, nobody else's, and we're introducing one single, it's a bacterial gene that makes a marker on the surface of the cell, and that's the only difference. So we're not giving anybody a bacterial infection. We're not giving them anything new. We're just educating their own immune system to see the differences in their tumor.
How effective is this?
Well, we have seen some amazing things. It takes a little while to mount an immune response, and then it takes a while for the immune response to actually have an anti-tumor effect. But all of our work has been done in animals so far, in companion animals with naturally occurring disease. So there are many different situations, just like in people. They have different living situations and different environmental conditions. But what we've seen is if they're in early enough stage and we can get the disease early enough, we've seen stable disease, progression-free survival, and even way extended survival times. It's really exciting.
What type of tumors are you treating?
So far, we've treated 20 different types of cancer and counting. And that's in dogs, cats, and horses.
And which ones are the more effective? The ones that you get in better responses?
The ones that are earliest.
The earliest. Okay.
The earliest stage
you
disease.
You can educate the immune system sooner, then the results are better.
Right, and a lot of it has to do with the state of the immune system. So if the animal is immunocompromised, they're unable to mount a significant immune response. And so that's another reason we like to get the early stage patients, because their immune system is more healthy than the later stage.
How do you measure the compromise of the immune system in an animal or in the person?
Well, in people, you could do that easily. In the veterinary field, a lot of things are different. One of the main things that is different is the goal of the treatment. When humans go in for cancer treatment, the outcome you always hope is a cure. People are understanding that it's not probably going to be that in most cases. It's going to be taking a terminal disease and turning it into a chronic disease. So you're maintaining the disease over time. But for animals, the goal of the therapy is to maintain a quality of life.
Okay. Are you treating any type of a cancer, or just identifying one cancer, working on that and working on another cancer, or you feel that because the immune system is the one who's going to make the response, you're just treating every cancer available?
Well, so far, because we're still in early stages of development in some of these things, we're treating whatever the veterinarians that are associated with us feel would be helpful. So we've treated lymphomas, we've treated osteosarcomas, we've treated fibrosarcomas. There's a number of different diseases, and some of them are more prevalent in dogs and some of them are more prevalent in cats. But most of our patients so far have been dogs. We're working with the USDA to do a sort of a different form of our therapy on horses with melanoma. So this so far, we gauge the response in measuring how the immune response actually recognizes the tumor antigens that are on the tumor cell surfaces.
Dr. Lawman, let me interrupt you. We're up against a hard break. Kimberly, if people are experiencing pain, tell them how they can reach us at the Bonati Spine Institute.
You can reach out at 855-267-0482 or visit the website at bonati.com. This has been a really fascinating conversation with Dr. Patricia Lawman. We'll have more with what's new in American medicine today following the break. You're listening to News Radio 970 WFLA. Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail. The Bonati Spine Institute is proud to announce more than a 94% patient-reported success rate in over 45,000 patent-protected spine surgical procedures. Call us today at 855-267-0483 or visit us at bonati.com.
All my pain is gone. Today I am totally pain-free. Nothing. No after effect.
I'm pain-free, and I have had to take any pain medication.
Today I am pain-free for the first time in over a year, and it is so awesome.
I only wish I'd known about it earlier. Right now, I am completely without pain.
Sitting here in this office right now, pain-free, eager to enjoy the rest of my life.
I am feeling great.
I feel 100% better, like a new person.
Today I feel absolutely fantastic. It's just incredible, the relief I feel right now.
Today I'm completely pain-free.
During the procedure, I literally felt the pain melt away. It was fantastic.
I feel so good.
It took care of my headaches instantly.
It's incredible. It's really incredible. It gave me my life back.
It's just wonderful. I feel fantastic.
It is just absolutely amazing.
So I'm hoping to be climbing hills in a few weeks.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonati and your host, Kimberly Brummel.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute. I'm Kimberly Brummel, joined by world-renowned orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Alfred Bonati. We have Jeff Wagstaff, Ethan Euchre, and our special in-studio guest, Dr. Patricia Lawman. An amazing segment we had where you're discussing your co-discovery of this vaccination that helps the immune system fight cancer in, what did you say, dogs, cats, horses. The question I have for you, though, you talked about if you get to it early enough, you can train the body to do so. How long does it take to train the system to fight the cancer?
Usually in animals and people, because animal immune systems are very similar to people's immune systems, and the cancers that they get are very similar as well. It takes about 7 days to mount an immune response, and then it splits off between a cellular response and an antibody response. Okay. So those are measured differently, and they have different functions in the body. But it takes a really healthy immune system to do that. And I just would like to add, in that respect, for our first in human trial that is supposed to start later this year.
Oh, that's fantastic.
The regulatory agencies have basically approved the healthiest cancer patient population there is, and we're really excited about that, because that means they're very confident that there will be no toxic side effects, and that there will be a real chance of efficacy in patients who can mount that immune response. So we're really excited about that.
Unbelievable.
Well, we'll be excited to follow your research which those human trials are at my alma mater, University of Nebraska. Go Huskers. But we certainly like to thank you for stopping by, and God bless you for what you're doing, and we wish you much success, and we'd like to keep in touch with you in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for being here, Dr. Lohman.
I can't think of any more cutting-edge medicine than a cancer vaccine.
Unbelievable. I have been so waiting to hear about something like this, so it's exciting to know
we're
that
going to have to
later
ask
this
Dr.
year.
Lohman back. Absolutely.
Absolutely. To find out more about American medicine and the technologies and different things that are happening right here in America, we head to Dr. Bonati and what's new in American medicine today.
Let's look at what's new in medicine today, featuring Alfred Bonati, MD.
Well, Dr. Bonati, before you start talking, actually, I have a few questions for you. Hopefully you're listening, but Dr. Bonati, what would you say your impression of the actual healthcare system in the country is today?
Well, after listening to all these miracle things that we heard today, I'm completely shocked. I'm shocked because this is the American medicine. This is what we work, this is what we dream, and this is what we obtain. This is the country who create these things. And it's amazing to see that this is being interrupted and it's being bastardized. And the problem with this is that people need to start to wake up. It's not a situation of stop the progress of medicine, but this stop the progress of the health of the humans around the world. We create this. I am a physician, and I heard two different comments today, two different doctors. I'm so amazed to see how these people is working and producing an incredible amount of results that only can happen here. The rest of the world will copy. The rest of the world will accept what we do. But what is amazing is if we stop this, if we stop this type of individuals that they think, they create, and they advance medicine, then medicine in the United States will change and will become mediocres, irresponsibles. The minds of physicians that they are being selected today are like this type of a people. And in the next 10 years or so, a second type of a brain is going to be introduced in medicine that will not be able to think these things, will not be able to cope with these things. So it's amazing to see these results, and it's amazing to see that society is not appreciating this type of individuals.
And that's a look at what's new in medicine today with Alfred Bonati, MD.
I told you like 2-3 weeks ago that I really wanted to pick Dr. Bonati's brain about American exceptionalism in quotes. And that was kind of a taste of that. And we're really coming toward the end of our program today, but I always enjoy getting the insight into Dr. Bonati's head as far as, especially a perspective of an immigrant who came to this country, had huge amounts of success.
The American dream.
Yeah. I mean, you don't think that you could have found the success that you have found in the States back home in Italy, Dr. Bonati?
No, absolutely not. It's not that the other countries don't try to do it. The problem is a tremendous amount of intrusion by individuals in the government, that what they do is they create mediocrity with the excuse of trying to educate masses. You don't educate masses. The people need to want to be educated. And the people want to succeed, and they want to get better. Only here that can happen. The opportunities that you have here are incredible. These opportunities that never happen in other country. For example, you see doctors that they are walking in the halls of hospitals in any European country, that probably they are 10, 15 years behind a quote-unquote professor before they become assigned a professorship in another city. So those individuals, they never will be able to produce what we produce here with the impulse of the youth and the impulse of your brain and your strength.
That's a thing of beauty right there. Well, we're up against the clock. That's it for us. Another edition of American Medicine Today. If people want to get in touch with the Bonati Spine Institute, Kimberly, how do they do so?
855-267-0482 or visit the website at Bonati.com. Keep in mind, later tonight, 7 p.m., WFTS ABC 28. Join us for American Medicine Today, the TV show. Jeff Wagstaff, he is on this. And Ethan Euchre, you make a very small guest appearance.
Do I really?
John got my best side.
I'll be there.
We'll see you next week, noon to 1 on News Radio 970, WFLA. Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail. The Bonati Spine Institute is proud to announce more than a 94% patient-reported success rate in over 45,000 patent-protected spine surgical procedures. Call us today at 855-267-0483 or visit us at Bonati.com.
All my pain is gone. Gone.
Today I am totally pain-free. Nothing. No after effect.
I'm pain-free, and I have had to take any pain medication.
Today I am pain-free for the first time in over a year, and it is so awesome.
I only wish I'd known about it earlier. Right now, I am completely without pain.
Sitting here in this office right now, pain-free, eager to enjoy the rest of my life.
I am feeling great.
I feel 100% better, like a new person.
Today I feel absolutely fantastic. It's just incredible, the relief I feel right now.
Today I'm completely pain-free.
During the procedure, I literally felt the pain melt away. It was fantastic.
I feel so good.
It took care of my headaches instantly.
It's incredible. It's really incredible. It gave me my life back.
It's just wonderful. I feel fantastic.
It is just absolutely amazing.
So I'm hoping to be climbing hills in a few weeks.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.